Cheers. Whew. Hey guys, it's Heidy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a beginner's guide on stilt walking. Now it has been a hot minuto since I made a YouTube video, so I do apologize. However, let's get right into it. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and things that I've learned while stilt walking. For those of you who don't know, I love stilt walking. I am a performer and my favorite thing to do when performing is stilt walk. I love it, love it, love it. It's literally the best thing ever. Can't explain how much I love this art form. So I thought I'd share some things that I've learned in my time with some of you who may not have access to a proper teacher or be able to go to like a circus school or something of the sort. Highly recommend, if you can, be taught by a professional. It's really easy to hurt yourself on stilts. I obviously don't want to see anyone get hurt out there. So please, please, please do your best to try to find a teacher near you. But again, if you can't, completely understand, not everybody has that luxury. So hopefully I am able to share with you something that'll help. Even if you just started, just got your first gig, whatever the case is, I'm here to help. Let's get started with the basics, your gear. So I use drywall stilts from Serpro. They look like this. Mine are actually the older ones. I don't know if you can tell. So I have yellow stilts. These are the older Serpro model. I just wrapped them in black vinyl. Serpro did change their model of the drywalls since then, just a little bit. Nothing negative. I've used them when I was at Six Flags and they work just the same. Not to be confused with the bending toe ones. These are just the regular ones. I know Serpro just came out with some bending toe ones and those are pretty good too, but I just use the regular schmegular ones. They're just as good. These are the 2 bars, the dual bar. So I see a lot of people when they start to stilt walk, they use the 1 bar. I would just advise against that. They're a lot harder to use and they're not as stable. Definitely go for the 2 bar. It's gonna make a huge difference, trust me. You can adjust these to your size, whether it be your shoe size, your calf size. This is friendly to people of many sizes, so yeah. That's what I use. Make sure you have knee pads. I use Nike knee pads. These are the ones that I use. Everybody uses something different. I wish I had examples of other ones, but I do know performers that use like the thicker, like volleyball knee pads. Some people like the thinner ones. They don't have to specifically be thin. They could be thicker. It's really just up to your preference. The reason why I use the thin ones is because I just like to feel the stilt more. I know that sounds kind of hard to understand right now. I like the feeling a little more. That being said, you still want this stilt, like the bars, to be tight to your leg. So you don't want them to be loose because that's gonna throw off your stability. So whatever works for you, I just adjust my bars and make them tighter in order to compensate for this. Whatever you guys feel comfortable using, use that. Everything that I show you today, you don't have to use the exact same one. It's all about what's comfortable for you. As you go on, you'll find things that are more comfortable for you or what you like and what you don't like, so don't panic. You'll figure it out. With the knee pad, something I like to use is bandanas. Not everybody uses these. These are more for like my skinnier legged folk like myself. I always find that my knee pads slip, or like if I get sweaty when I perform. I know that sounds gross, but we wear like Under Armour, we wear leggings, so it just slips with time. So in order to prevent that, something that my stilt teacher taught me, shout out to Noel, he taught me to put this bandana under the knee pad and then over the calf strap. Highly recommend if you are a performer yourself. It really saves time, especially like if you're on set and you feel it slipping, it will throw off your stability if it does fall. And it's happened to a lot of us, like your knee pad will fall mid-set. And it's super annoying because you gotta go backstage to fix it, or it just becomes like a comfort thing, like it throws off your stability, like it's a whole lot of things. Thank you to Noel who taught me that. Shout out to him. Next thing I want to talk about is the straps. These specific ones come with these kind of straps. Now they're not the most like secure thing in my opinion. If you can, use Velcro, and not just any Velcro, like a heavy duty Velcro. These straps, I have to say, like I don't know where they sell them. Now hear me out. I'm not gatekeeping. These straps my dad actually found, and he said that they use them to keep like these like gym mats together. And so he would bring me them as he finds them. So this is what they look like. If you guys can find these online, let me know, because I have people asking me all the time like, at work, like where did I get these? And I'm like, I really wish I knew because I would be buying more. Velcro is not used on the Serpro stilt. They are used on Bigfoots or Jaywalkers. They're like the performance grade stilts. They do use Velcro on those and it's so secure. I've had the privilege of using Bigfoots and they're super secure. Like I never thought that I'd trust Velcro so much, but Velcro makes a world of a difference. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk about is shoes. Again, everybody uses something different. The way that I was taught is to use high top Converse or high top Vans. That's what I was told, and when I met other performers and I started stilt walking, a lot of people were like on the same boat. Flat shoe, if you have like a gym shoe too. I know weightlifters at the gym, they use flat shoes for stability, and that's exactly why you need them with the stilts, is for stability. Try to avoid anything with platform or with like too much like if you see those like Nike shoes that have gel. Now these are hella beat up. I've used them for sliding, I've used them at work, like they're pretty rough. I definitely need a new pair soon, but I've used high top Converse, I've used high top Vans. They're great. Pray for an upgrade though, because these are, girl, good Lord. Oh my God, I just beat these up like nothing. So now that we know our gear, now that we have everything together, let's go ahead and get up on stilts. I'm excited. It's been a minute since I've had a stilt session, and I'm glad you guys are here with me. I definitely just spilled my entire, well, not the entire thing, but I spilled like a bunch of my Alani right now, trying to set up this camera. Girl, let's put these things on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your knee pad, in case no one has told you, it goes under the knee, right below it. Do not make the mistake of putting it on your knees. The purpose of these knee pads, again, is to fill that space between your leg and the calf strap. If we're keeping it 100, I genuinely don't think that Vans last as long as Converse. I feel like I just got these Vans and they got torn up like so quickly in comparison to my Converse, which I still use for sliding, and I've had those for like 4 years now. These I've had for maybe a year or two, and they're not well. We're up. We up. So this is the bandana action. It just goes right under in between your leg and your knee pad. Then you just take both ends like so, and you tie it right around your calf strap, and it's just extra security for your knee pads not to slip. Remember to always check your stilts, adjust anything if you need to before you get on. Just make sure that everything looks okay, everything's in place. Be safe, be careful. Just a couple things that I wanted to share. A really big tip and something to keep in mind that I want to echo from my instructor and what he's told me is to really focus on building a solid foundation, because it's so important. Before you move on to stunts and all that crazy stuff, I've seen a lot of people just jump to the stunts, to the crazy stuff, and then they end up getting hurt. Obviously, you don't want that, because that's going to put you out for forever, for months. That's not going to help you progress any faster. So build a solid foundation. I think the biggest things that you want to focus on too when you're building your foundation is finding your basic skills to master. So that's going to be just the walking backwards, the side steps, 3 simple types of walks. Good for your overall flexibility and, what's the word? Is dexterity the word to use? I don't know. But these are gonna help you move around. Another one too is your turns. So just a simple turn. Your pivots. Pivots are also important. They'll just help you start to move faster too and just feel more comfortable up here. It's gonna be different than regular walking, obviously. When you're doing these things, try not to look down. When you look down, all your weight's gonna start to go down and you're gonna fall. So don't look down. I know it's scary. I know it can be a really big change than being on the ground, but trust me. So the way that I was told was to find a point, find something to look at in front of you, and just keep looking at it as you're doing your skills. When you get up, don't keep your feet so close together like this. You see how they're knocking? They can get caught like that and you will fall. With that, finding your balance while you're up here too. If you find yourself wiggling and wobbling and you're able to get yourself back to that safe space, good job. You're learning. It's not the end of the world. It's a good thing. You're learning how to control your weight and how to find your balance when you're up here. What was I saying? Don't keep your legs close together. You want to spread them apart a little. It's gonna feel unnatural. Don't lock your knees. It'll make it scary and you're cutting off your blood flow. Slightly have your knees bent. Relax. You're okay. Don't freak out. When you're walking too, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. You wanna make sure you're picking up your knees and you're really trying to control that weight as you bring it down. You don't wanna be like stomping when you're walking. That's scary. And you're not always gonna be still walking at haunt events. Even if you are though, that can wear down your stilts really easily. These are not really made for performing in the first place, so be gentle, treat them with care. You're gonna have to build up your strength. Now for me, these were really, really heavy when I first started. I could barely pick them up. I was struggling big time. But in order to fix that, I actually started hitting the gym. I know that sounds crazy, I know that sounds like extra, but I could not pick up this weight with my legs. And I could not touch my toes, I could not do any of that. So I started stretching, I started lifting weights, just building up my leg strength, building up my core strength as well. A lot of stilts is core. Common misconception is that it's just your legs. It's not just your legs, it's your core, it's your arms, it's everything. Everything is gonna hurt, everything's gonna be sore. But yeah, I built up that strength. You don't have to go to the gym necessarily, you could do other things, whatever works for you. If you can't pick up that weight, your stilt walking is gonna be sloppy and you're gonna get tired. It's gonna be harder for you to progress to stunts, to bigger things. It makes a world of a difference and it makes it so much easier to be up here. Pick up the weight and bring it down. Try to be as quiet as possible, being like quiet and controlling the weight when you came down. If you hear your feet dragging, pick them up. Don't get lazy with it. If you have a problem with something, some little part, if you can't pick up your legs, if you can't keep your legs apart, fix it before you move on. Build that solid foundation. This is something that was really like nailed into my head when I was learning, and I'm so, so grateful because now I feel like I have such a solid foundation that I can progress to all these other things and it just becomes more comfortable. The last skill that I think as a beginner you should be working on is your squats. For example, squat, deeper squat, even deeper squat. And we're going to the ground squat. Regular squat, doesn't have to be a super deep one, could just be this one. The reason why you need this is in case you do fall, you want to make sure you get down to the ground as low as you can first before you take that tumble. You don't want to be falling like this, you don't want to be falling like that. You want to drop first and then fall over. Typically on your side, this part of your body is the safest. I know in the moment it might be hard, but if you practice it now, you'll naturally do it when you fall. It's really scary at first. If you don't have anybody to spot you, you can go up to a wall and slowly do it. But try not to rely on the wall. It would look like this. You know, in case you feel like you're gonna fall, you have this. If you have a person, just advise them standing in front of you. Don't rely on them. Try to still look forward to and just get down into that squat. To get deeper into the squat, you'll have to be a little more flexible with your hips. So do a lot of hip stretching exercises. If you guys are familiar with like the butterfly stretch, that's a good one. Or the one that I like to do, get your legs apart, reach down to the floor, grab your ankles, and pull your butt in, just on the ground, just not on stilts. But if you do that exercise, that really opens up your hips too. That's gonna help get a deeper squat. A lot of things people do too is they lean forward and squat and they're like this. This is really scary and it doesn't look good. Also, you're gonna fall forward if you put all your weight to the front. Try to think of it as your butt coming down and you want your shoulders to be just forward. Your butt comes down, butt down. Not like this, not like this, but like this. Should be comfortable. Sometimes I like to just chill here. Don't be discouraged if you can't get super low at first. It takes practice. Practice, practice, practice. The reason I say that so much too is because when I started still walking, I wasn't the best. And I am a nervous wreck and I did not look good at first. I spent all of the pandemic practicing in my backyard. We had nothing to do during the pandemic. That's how I kept myself busy. So if you do have like a space, even going to a park if you don't have the space, flat surface, preferably no grass or dirt. It is possible to still walk on that ground, but it's not the safest for when you're learning. So try to get just on like a concrete ground. If it is gravel, just be aware of like any loose rocks or anything like that. So that is my beginner guide to stilt walking. Hopefully I was able to help you guys in some way with some tips. I hope you guys learned something from this and are able to take something away from this. It's such a beautiful art. And I really really do hope for anybody watching who wants to get into stilt walking or is just starting out there to really just fall in love with it. It's so fun. Be careful, build a solid foundation, focus on mastering the skills before you move on to more advanced things. It takes time, it takes a long time. Some people pick it up quicker than others, and that's okay. If that's not you, you will get there. You just have to work hard. And to all my women out there, shout out to y'all who are stilt walking. Love y'all, love seeing my stilt girlies. This field can sometimes be dominated by predominantly males. I just want to give a shout out to my ladies. Y'all can kill it out there. Anyways, thank you for watching. The sun is blazing, but I'll see you guys in the next one.